Hello friends, welcome back to our little coffee club. Today I'm gonna try the coffee from the co-ferment from Good Brothers. This is a peach co-ferment and we'll take a look at it. So let's take it over to the other counter and make a shot of espresso. And then after that, we'll chit chat for a little while. So if you guys wanna hang out with me for an hour or so, just make some coffee, keep it simple today, then go ahead. Maybe you should pause the video, make yourself something tasty to go along here with me, then come back and I'll meet you guys at the other counter to pull a shot of espresso. All right, so here we go. Let's get this bag open. The Peach Sunrise from Good Brothers. A co-ferment experience. We'll see how this goes. I know a lot of you guys are not into the co-ferments, but I think it is fun to order one of these bags now and then, or have something like this on hand, just whenever you want something a little bit different. Something that's gonna be way out there, unlike probably any other coffee you've ever had. So let's go ahead and see what this experience brings to us. You know, these coffees tend to be quite funky when you open the bag and when you know, when the beans are dry and when you grind them. After you brew them, everything changes. Everything changes, then it becomes very pleasant. But in my experience so far, other than the ones Joan sent me from the UK, they were a co-ferment, but done with dehydrated fruits. And I think when you do it in that way, maybe there is something to gain there. Because I gotta say, those are by far the best co-ferments I've had so far. And both of those coffees, again, were co-fermented with dehydrated fruits. It was a lot more of a delicate process to me, it seems, because the coffee flavor was still very apparent and the coffee's taste was influenced in a way less aggressive way. So perhaps there's something to say about that. I don't know, but that's what I'm going with for now. All of these other co-ferments where they just add the fruit, usually the beans, the dry beans become like very funky and the coffee flavor is affected more drastically. Let's put it that way. So let's go ahead and get this bag open. Oh, first we gotta check the roast level. I mean, knowing Good Brothers, this is gonna be a medium, but let's see. Let's take a look at it and I'll show you guys. Yeah, it's a medium, maybe even medium to light. That's usually what Good Brothers goes with and is what I usually tend to like the most. I like the coffee to be a little bit more developed. When they're like super light, a lot of times it's not my favorite. Also, you guys know I don't drink too much like really dark roast. In espresso, I would be okay when I'm gonna mix it with milk, but other than that, you know, most likely I don't go with a darker roast. So something like this is my preference. Let's take a look at it turn on the lights and let me show it to you guys. Okay, so there you see it. Yeah, I think it's probably like a true medium or maybe medium to light. Let me take a picture. Sometimes on the picture it looks better. All right, focus should be locked there. From the look of it, hopefully you guys got a good look at that. And yeah, I think it's a medium to light. Okay, I'm already getting a little bit of that funkiness from these beans, as I usually do. And we'll see if it builds. Sometimes it doesn't seem to be too heavy at first, but then it just builds more and more in the kitchen. So let's see. All right, we're at 13 grams. We're gonna go to 18 to pull a shot of espresso. Again, I'm gonna hand grind this. I'm not sure if I already mentioned it, but I'm gonna hand grind this. I don't usually hand grind for espresso, but both of my electric grinders are clean right now. I just cleaned them. I don't wanna run some funky coffee through it and then have to clean it right away again. So therefore, I'm gonna hand grind this one. Okay, 18.1. If I take out a bean, okay, 18. Now, usually retention is not a thing on hand grinders, but we will check anyway. We have checked many times on the K Plus, and it's not a thing. Okay, so we got our 18 grams. You know, I don't even remember, like the last time that I used my hand grinder for espresso, I don't remember, but I think we're usually somewhere between 4 and 4.5. You know, maybe we should go at 4.5. Let's go at 45 clicks. So we're right in between the 4 and the 5. You can see it there on the red dot. And we're gonna start with that. So hopefully 45 clicks turns out to be a good setting for this coffee. And we'll do like a 20-second pre-infusion, maybe 30 seconds at 9 bar, which is very standard for what I usually like. Again, one of those layer shots. All right, I don't even remember how long it takes to grind for espresso, but I will put it here on the screen when I'm done so you guys know how long the process took. You know, usually for pour overs, it's somewhere around 30 seconds, which is not so bad, but I imagine for espresso it's gonna be somewhere around 45, maybe even 50 seconds, but we'll see. Okay, so we're at 45 clicks. Okay, we should be almost done there. Let's tap it a couple times. Once you get it to spin freely like this, you're done. All right, now that was not bad at all. These beans being medium roast, they're not too dense, it's not too hard to grind. All right, let's see if we have our 18 grams. Make sure everything went through. Okay, 17.9 or 17.8. So we didn't get exactly the same. Well, all right, we had a little bit of retention today. Saying between 17.9, 17.8. So just a tad, something got stuck somewhere. All right, we're rolling with this. Okay, I'm just gonna check that my focus is locked there. And it is. And then we're gonna fluff it up like we usually do with the thick needles. Let's do some puck prep. Wow, yeah, it's been a really long time since I've done a shot of espresso with the hand grinder. It's been a while. Oh, that's right now. You know, I don't even remember how I used to do this. No blind shaking over here, so let's see. Okay, that was easy enough. But wow, it's been such a long time. I don't remember the last time I used the hand grinder, how it was. I got it from the little catch cup to the... Maybe I did have the blind shaker at the time. Because I remember for a while I had it installed, and yeah, that's how I learned that I didn't like doing blind shaking. All right, let's do some WDT. Okay, WDT, just take your time, start at the bottom, make circles, come all the way up. What you want to make sure is that the density of coffee is the same everywhere, that it's distributed evenly everywhere here in the portafilter. Okay, and now we tamp. All right, let me bring you guys in a little bit closer for the tamp. Okay, right here you guys should be able to see that well. Okay, you know what? Well, that's a perfect temp. Super level today. But, wow, I think it's gonna be coarse, to tell the truth. I think, now, being that we have the flow control, I might be able to slow it down and still get a good shot. But you know, from the way that went down, I would say it's coarse. And we are at 45 clicks. So, all right, let's try it and see what we get. Let's put the puck screen, lock it in. You know what? Today I remembered to run it. Let's run it a little bit. Leave the paddle there at 5. Dry it up and lock in. All right, I should have all the cameras running there. I want to report back to Ollie. Ollie's one of our friends here on our little coffee club. Ollie said that why didn't I, and I think this is the second time he brings it up. I guess it's really annoying to see the machine always timing out. It doesn't really affect me. Like I don't really, you know, I don't really care that I have to like, you know, wake it up again. But I did, Ollie, I did turn off the factory timeout feature. You know, it is redundant. Ollie told me that, and he's the one that told me how to get into this, how do you call it, into this menu here in the LCC. But basically, you hit minus to get into your menus, and then you keep hitting the minus to toggle. Then when you get to over here with the little moon, you can set the timer when you want it to turn off. So I have it for 60 minutes. So now, Ollie, it turns off after an hour. So if I haven't pulled a shot within like an hour, I want it to turn off. I don't want this thing to just keep. And look, the brew temperature offset was set to, was that set? I left that on? Not that it matters. We saw that it doesn't really do much, but let's get into it. I think so. Okay, let's put it back to 0. Not that it does anything, but I don't know if you guys, yeah, by now you must have seen that video. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I did a whole video as to the brew temperature offset revisited and checking temperatures and stuff. I think that video's up by now. I am editing a few videos right now. That one should have been first before this one. So that you guys should have seen that video already. But anyway, the brew temperature offset is off now. We are at 95. Let's see if we can do something like a 20-second pre-infusion and then maybe like 30 seconds at 9 bar. So let's, we're gonna use the Akaya. So yeah, Ollie, I turned it off. Before you can set that timer and for it to work, you need to turn off the factory like sleep mode that the machine comes with, or timeout, or whatever it is they call it, where you get into it by flipping the brew lever all the way up. The machine has to be off. So you flip the lever up and then you turn the machine on. And when the machine comes on, okay, then you should be able to flip it back down, turn the machine back off, and that feature should go away. It is very like kind of confusing, and I'm recording a video as to how to do all of that. And you know, I might scrap that whole project because I'm really annoyed with it. I've already had to invest like too much time into that project, and I hate to give up on a project once I already like really, you know, recorded some clips and recorded some stuff, and then just to give up on it. But at this point, I'm so annoyed with it that I might just scrap the whole thing. I don't know. If you guys still see that video eventually, then I guess I hung in there and somehow made it so that you can understand it. So, but right now it's like nobody can understand what it is I'm trying to do. It is a bit confusing. Maybe I'll revisit that, or I don't know. I still don't know what I'm gonna do with that project. But today we're keeping it simple. That's why I said, you know what, today we're just gonna keep it simple, do a brew session. I gotta get some coffee. I might as well record it for the folks. So here we go. I'm gonna use the Akaya, my Propel glass from Groove. Okay, so that tears by itself. We start running the shot. Okay, so I start like around 5 o'clock. It takes about 9 seconds before we see the pressure coming in. I had never really paid attention too much for that. Oh yeah, this is coarse. This is way coarse. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is no good. All right, might as well. I'm not gonna run that. Oh, that's horrible. Okay, I'm not even gonna run that. So we're gonna have to go way down. We are 45. You know, I'm gonna go all the way down to 35. I mean, this is ridiculous. So let's grind again at 35 and see what happens. Okay, so we're going to dose out another 18 grams. We're at 35 clicks now, so we went down by 10 clicks. And even that, I think maybe that won't even be enough, but we'll see. We had like absolutely no pressure. So if you're getting no pressure, that's why I tell you guys that some people have reached out and said that they were tamping as hard as they could and getting no pressure. You know, your tamping pressure has very little to do with the pressure the machine is building. Almost entirely, it has to do with the grind size. It doesn't matter how hard you press. I mean, you saw me tamp there. I tamped about as hard as I always tamp and build no pressure, like nothing. We were not getting anything. So again, you know, everything that has to do with the, you know, the pressure that puck builds, it's all about the grind size and almost nothing to do with how hard you're tamping. So I think that kind of illustrates the point right there. It was a perfect, a perfect scenario for you to see what happens. Okay, let's do another 18 grams. Okay, the funkiness in the bag is, I gotta say, is less, definitely less than the lychee from Black and White. That was insanity. That one was way out there. Then the strawberry was still, you know, somewhat fairly funky, but not like the lychee. And this one's even less. So we'll see we'll see about the flavor, but yeah, the funkiness of it, yeah, it's definitely there. It's way more than the ones that Joan sent me, the ones with the dehydrated fruits. But definitely from the other ones that, you know, versus the other Good Brothers one, the strawberry, and versus the Black and White, definitely this one has way less funkiness as far as the aroma. So let's do another 18 grams. You know, sometimes I start recording these videos and like today I had like, I'm telling you, I knew I was gonna make coffee. I was gonna have an afternoon brew session for sure. So I was like, you know, let's just record it. And then sometimes I have like not much to say, but you know, things start to happen. And before you know it, we chit chat for an hour and I recorded for the folks and we can hang out for a little bit. So, you know, I'm here just to keep you company. You guys maybe will learn a thing or two from me, but most of you are way more advanced than me. I know that. You know, some of you guys are on a whole different level. You're what I would consider experts. Like I always say, I'm just some dude, but you know, I do have a little bit of experience, and I have to say, as far as my palate, I have come a long way. Wow, what I can like see and identify in coffee now versus when I first started like doing these tastings and this whole thing, it's wow, I have advanced quite a bit. Okay, so we're exactly at 18 grams. And again, now we're at 35 clicks. So this is gonna take me way long, you know, maybe that's the reason why it was so easy to grind the other shot, because it was like way coarse. So, all right, let's see what we get now. All right, here we go. Yeah, grinding for espresso, for some of you folks, you know, you might not wanna, you might not wanna do it. Even myself, you know, well, you know, I have said it before. If I was new in the hobby and I was just barely starting out, and I don't know if I'm gonna like making espresso and making pour overs, I don't know if I'm gonna get into this. I do have to say that the grinder I would recommend to start with, and the one I would recommend the most, is this hand grinder. It's bulletproof. I love using it. Makes no noise. You can use it early in the morning if there's folks sleeping in the house. You can take it with you on vacation. It just has all the pluses. Yeah, you have to do the hand grinding, but I'm kind of okay with that. It's not that bad. If I was gonna pour like 10 shots a day or something, then maybe not, you know, but the way I use it, which is I make espresso on the weekends only, I'm okay with it. And to do pour overs, even every single day is fine. Pour overs you grind in 30 seconds, real easy, no problem. All right, let's do some puck prep. Okay, I just noticed I shut off the scale without first checking retention because I was talking, and all right, doesn't matter. We could still do it. Let's make sure everything went through. Last time you saw, we lost like a 0.1 or maybe even a little bit more than a 0.1. Let's see now. I always put the puck screen back in here and I rinse everything out in the faucet, and then I'll run the machine and do like a dummy shot so everything gets hot again. So this is ready to go. Okay, let's check our 18 grams. So let me put my funnel back up here. I'm gonna tear this out. Okay, we're at 0. We should have 18 grams. Let me make sure my focus is locked. Okay, bring you guys in a little bit closer like this. And you know what? Let's fluff it up first. Again, by moving all the grounds like this before you even put them in the portafilter, you ensure that if you had any like little clumps or anything, everything is nice and fluffy now. The WDT afterwards is more about the distribution of the grounds than actual declumping. There's no clumps. Okay, this time, because I think there was condensation here and it's kind of like I steamed up this thing, there's some grounds still stuck in here. I could see them in here. I think that happened from the condensation, the heat from the portafilter. Okay, I could still see a little bit in there, just a tiny little bit. Maybe we had a little bit of that the first time and I didn't notice. And that's what we were missing, a tiny bit. Okay, so right now it's reading between 17.9 and 18. So pretty much same thing we put in is what we got out. So I'm gonna have to be careful with this because I think it got like steamed up from the heat of this thing. All right. Okay, but anyways, we got our 18 grams. Let's go ahead and do some WDT. You know, and that kind of gushing shot that we got the first time is when you are like kind of most likely to see channeling. I wonder if there was any kind of channeling happening, but I kind of stopped the shot so fast that, you know, I doubt it. You know, as soon as I tamped it, I kind of knew, wow, this I think is way too coarse. Okay, we'll see now. Okay, another perfect tamp. It was perfectly straight, little polish. Okay, I come in with the Gemini coffee screen. If you guys haven't seen the video that when I first unboxed the Gemini coffee screen, and recommended them to you guys, and you know the reasons why, then you know, check that video out. Okay, let me drop that in there and lock it in, and we try another shot. I have a feeling that might still be just a tad too coarse, but we'll see. All right, I should have all the cameras running again. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend you guys go out and buy something you don't need, but if you need a puck screen anyway, then check out Gemini. Start the Akaya. Let me get the hot water. I always put hot water into my shot glass so it stays hot. I shouldn't say always. That's when I already pulled a shot and then I rinse it, because usually by just leaving it up here, it's really hot. But after I pull a shot, then I rinse it and it cools down. So therefore I put hot water in it. Okay, so let's try again and see what we get. Okay, so we're at 5 o'clock. Start the shot. At around 9 seconds, we should start seeing the pressure here on the machine. And sure enough, you know, I had never noticed that. And I pull so many shots, but it's not one of the things I pay attention to. Okay, so I'm just gonna ramp up. This is gonna be another fast shot. As a matter of fact, I don't even think I can get it to 9 bars. It doesn't go to 9 bars. It's a freaking watery mess, guys. We're at 41 grams. I stopped it early. It pulled in like in 17 seconds. I'm gonna taste this one, but it's probably gonna be pretty awful. But let's see, who knows? I think this is one of those soupy shots that people like doing nowadays. You know, I don't see the point in this. Just make pour over. Make an Americano or something. Like what's it's just a mess. At least that's the way I see it. All right, let me taste this thing. You know, the aroma's nice. I like I got something nice to say about it. The aroma's nice. Let me stop one of the cameras and put it off to the side. Okay, get one of the cameras out of the way. Okay, let me taste it. But I do have to say, the aroma's nice. Very fruity. Is it peachy? You know, I wouldn't say peachy. No, but definitely fruity. All right, let's taste it. Yeah, no, it's, you know, it's not horrible. It's borderline being doable. Yeah, there's just like a little bit of sourness to it. It's not, you know, it's not like that. It's not acidity. It is a little sour, but it's almost to the point where it starts to balance out and it's kind of doable. For some of you guys that like the, you know, the faster shots and something that has more brightness and acidity and clarity like that, you know, you might, this is almost okay for you guys. Okay, is the flavor peachy right now? I don't know, it's that, you know, that little bit of sourness, saltiness is like too salty, yeah, no, we're gonna pull another one. This is definitely not my cup of tea. We have to get this thing sweeter and more coffee-like to me. I don't know, this is like some kind of weird juice. So let's go ahead, reset, and try pulling one more shot. Okay, so here we go with the third attempt. Okay, so I cleaned this thing out because I saw it was a little bit, it had a little bit of moisture. So now it's nice and dry. So I started with that. Now grind size. We were at 35. So I don't know, 30. I think maybe 7 clicks, 20, 28. So wow, we started, I think we started at, what was it, like 45 or something? We're down to like 28. Okay, I think I'm gonna grind, yeah, at 28. Let's try that. 28 clicks. Wow, you see, this one's not gonna be a lot of fun to grind. That's already really fine, and it's gonna take a little bit of effort. Besides, it's my third shot in a row here, so. All right, come on, let's go. I'm not trying to do cardio. Okay, we do another 18 grams. Okay, right there we're at 18 grams. Yeah, we grind again. All right, wow, that one took a while. Oh man, I'm a little bit winded. Okay, we got everything. Wow, this feels like when we did the Turkish coffee. It's getting ridiculous. Okay, this is gonna be quite fine. Okay, let's see. Okay, now we're exactly 18 grams. 18 in, 18 out. Let's fluff it up. Wowzers, this is really fine. This is like little, like baby powder in there. All right, so 18 in, 18 out. One more puck prep. You know, doing 3 shots to get it right, it's really not that unusual. Bring you guys in a little bit closer. Yeah, 3 shots to get it right. It's not that unusual. On the infuser, that was kind of like the way it went. It was on my second one or on my third one. On the Bianca, because of the flow control, I mean, almost always, right? The very first shot is extremely acceptable. Maybe it's not perfect, but it's extremely acceptable. But you guys saw right now, you know, both shots were, to me, like unusable. I wouldn't drink either one. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this time, this is like baby powder. Okay, I got everything. The OUDT one more time. Okay, I have a feeling this one's gonna be good. There's no way it could be too coarse. I don't think so. Okay, today I'm 2 for 2 with the tamping. I think I've done a beautiful job here today with the tamping. Oh yeah, that thing is way in there this time. See, this one needed slightest of adjustments. Should be good right there. Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, we come in with the puck screen and we pulled our third shot. I have a feeling this one is gonna work, so let's go. All right, so I don't remember the last time it took 3 shots to get it right, but that's what we got today. Okay, I had to clean up everything. The Akaya's clean because of all the splashing from those out of control shots. Okay, dump out the water. Okay, so we're gonna try to, again, do like 20-second pre-infusion and 30-second at 9 bar. But even that, I don't know, I have a feeling still not gonna be slow enough for that, but who knows? Here we go. Okay, now we build pressure way faster. So it doesn't always take about 9 seconds. It probably must depend as to, you know, it depends on how coarse the grounds are. Okay, there's our 20 seconds. Now we ramp up to 9. Oh, I overshot it. Wow, now it's too fine. Yeah, this is definitely too fine. I told you it was like baby powder. It was really, really fine. Wow, look at this. Am I gonna run it? It's not, you know, puck integrity is holding, so, you know, it's at 10 bars. We're barely getting anything. Well, we're gonna have to do another one. This is not gonna be good. All right, we'll reset. Okay, so now I know what I'm gonna call this video. I'm gonna call it something like, is a hand grinder a good idea for espresso? Or something like something along those lines, for sure. Okay, so we are 28. Man, now I'm kind of right, because we pulled at 35. It was still way too fast. You know, 28, too slow. So I know 30, I don't think that's enough. 31? 31 or 32? I don't want the shot to be too fast again. And 3 clicks from 35 to, wow, I don't know. I'm gonna go with 31. I'm going with 31 and hope for the best. I hope this one I get it right. All right, the 4th one, another 18 grams. That's why when you guys send me these coffees, you know, I can't risk it on it. Well, you know, this is an extreme situation because I'm using the hand grinder and I didn't even remember where to start. Like honestly, with the niche zero, I probably could have pulled a good shot of espresso right from the get-go, but still, it's risky. You could waste, you know, a couple of doses while you're dialing in, and I don't want to do that with one of those coffees that you guys sent me, so yeah, we should be good to go there. Okay, let's see. So we got our 18 grams. So we went up by 3 clicks. We're at 31. All right. Man, I definitely got a workout today with this, all this hand grinding. Okay, 17.9, pretty much roughly the same. Fluff it up. Now, I haven't seen any signs of obvious channeling, so hopefully there hasn't been any. Okay, let me bring it in a little closer. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this is definitely getting like moisture from the portafilter, and it's causing like the grinds to stick. Maybe this coffee has a little bit like more oily than others, perhaps. Maybe because of the co-ferment, who knows? But definitely that is happening. You know, I've gotten a couple of comments of, you know, a couple of folks that say that they don't usually lubricate the brew lever handle. They just kind of let the oils, I remember now because I'm saying about this coffee maybe perhaps being a little bit more oily. You know, they let the kind of like the oils from the coffee kind of take care of it and kind of like lubricate the system itself. You know, if you're pulling a lot of lighter roast coffees like I do, I don't think that's a good idea, because like lighter roast coffees, they don't have a lot of oils. You know, like you do a lot of dark roast, it's gonna be more oily and stuff. And maybe in that case, it might be okay, but I wouldn't risk that. I think it would just have like extra wear on the handle. Besides, it doesn't feel like nice to be having to pull on this thing that it doesn't move smoothly, and squeaking and stuff. I don't like it. I'd rather just do add the lubricant. I mean, it takes what, 15 minutes of my time. You know, I don't mind that at all. Okay, tamp one more time. Okay, the tamping has been pretty much spot on every time. Small adjustment this time and the last time, but not bad at all. Okay, you guys have seen me struggle a little bit today, but hey, that's what it takes sometimes. Now, once I dial it in, I'll make a note of it in case I want to make espresso again, or I can always look back at the video, right, that I recorded. But we are at 31. So I know at 35, we were too fast. And at 28, we were too slow. So hopefully 31 is kind of in the middle. You know, there's no way of doing half clicks. So, you know, let's see, if 31 is still a little bit slow, maybe 32 is the magic number. So I'll make a note of that. But let's see what we get. Let's lock in and try it again. So yeah, is a hand grinder a good idea for espresso? You know, if you're just pulling shots for yourself and you have time, well, a hand grinder just adds a lot of value. I mean, it's hard to beat. Maybe not the K Plus because it's very expensive, but there's plenty of very capable, very well made, you know, just great build quality, great workflow, everything, you know, really nice for around $100. So for sure, one of those, yeah, it's a good way to start. If you want to get into the hobby, not spend a lot of money and see if you really get into it, then you follow up with your first electric grinder. And then by then you have a good idea of how much you want to spend on the hobby, right? So start with a hand grinder that will get you into making pour overs as well as espresso. So do your research, make sure you could do both. And then, I mean, if you want to go up to the K Plus, what I use, then by all means, the 1zpresso K Plus, I love it, but it is like $250. You can get some electric grinders for less than that. So at that point, you kind of have to weigh it out, see which way you want to go. But all right, let's try another shot. Again, if you want to talk about, what should be your first grinder or more options as to grinders, maybe we should do a video just talking more, concentrating on that. Today it turned into a challenge. I mean, I was just gonna pull a quick shot and have some coffee, and it turned into a whole big adventure. So let's see what happens. Let's see if we get it right this time. So yeah, definitely if the coffee is finer, you will build pressure faster. It won't take 9 seconds. So it's not always gonna be the same thing. Okay, so this time I'm gonna look for my 20 seconds. Let's see if we stay below the 2 grams. That's what we want. So we are just around the 2 grams and 19 seconds. Time to ramp up. Oh, it's a beautiful ramp up to 9 bars. Perfect. So far, this is pulling perfect. So we're looking for a total shot time of maybe 50 seconds, somewhere around there. And we got to hit 45 grams. So 18 in, 45 out, a 1 to 2.5. Okay, I went just slightly over. I'm almost at 46 grams, but that's really close. 35 seconds since first drip. Now my machine is saying that it needs water, and I cannot read what my overall shot time was. So I'll put it here on the screen because I know I got it on the recording. So hopefully it was around 50 seconds, something like that. Well, we had 20 seconds, but we were dripping before then. It might have been a little bit faster shot. It might have been, maybe it was somewhere just below 50 seconds. I don't know. I'll put it here on the screen, but now I want to know. Now I'm interested, but but we were close, very close to what I was shooting for. And on a medium roast like this, yeah, well, I've seen these Slayer shots work, man. I've seen them work very well, and even over a minute, and they still taste great. So I don't know, let me give it a taste. Let me stop some of these cameras. All right, let's give it a swirl. Again, the aroma is, on all these co-ferments, once you brew them, the aroma's nice. And this one is not too funky. The dry beans are not too bad. Okay, now like that sourness is gone, but the acidity is still, now it feels like acidity being high. Now it could be that this coffee just has really high acidity, like it happened to us with the strawberry one, where I felt like it had like a lot of acidity. Maybe this is the same coffee, they just added different fruit. I don't know, I don't remember, but yeah, it's a bit high for me, but still okay. The sweetness is a bit lacking. I would like to extend this shot by another 10, 15 more seconds, believe it or not. I know some of you guys are probably saying, wow, this guy's crazy. Listen, I have tested these theories over and over as to like faster shots and slower shots and what they do, at least to my taste buds. And, I just find it to always work. I mean, I shouldn't say always. There are some coffees that have been the outliers. Okay, there's been some that did not follow suit to that kind of process, but for almost all of them, that's usually what happens, where you slow it down, you get those longer Slayer shots, and the coffee just becomes sweeter. You cut some of that brightness, and it just becomes wonderful. So, but there has been some outliers. Okay, still, this one is good. I am gonna drink this one. I'm not gonna throw this coffee away because, again, you guys know I don't like wasting, but I will admit, it's definitely not my favorite shot I've ever had. So let's take it over to the other counter and talk about it. All right, so let's give it a swirl. Okay, now that it has cooled, I like it a little bit better, but I have to say the acidity is a bit much for me. And it's not just the acidity, the flavor profile. It's not like my cup of tea. Well, I wouldn't say that, I wouldn't, okay, I wouldn't say that. I think I just didn't pull the right kind of shot. I don't know. Definitely, I think I have to extend the shot time. Yeah, it's got that whininess to it, the same kind of like sangria, like the like the lychee one. This one is kind of like that, but I don't know, the acidity in it is different. That's what's different about it. Yeah, I definitely have to dial it in more. This one, I would like to pull like a longer, like more traditional kind of Slayer shot, like maybe even like 30 seconds and then like 40 seconds at 9 bar, over a minute. I'll report back to you guys. I wonder what it's gonna give me as pour over. It could be completely different. But yeah, guessing at the tasting notes, I don't know, it's winey. Maybe I will go with like grapes and like it's got that winey, that kind of wininess to it, like a sangria, kind of like what I got from the lychee. It is fruity. Am I getting citrus? No, this would be more like a berry kind of tartness, not, the geisha that I had from Good Brothers. I think I already said or mentioned it on another video that geisha is unlike the other ones I've had. That geisha does not follow suit with the same kind of very delicate flavors that I've gotten from the geishas before. This one is more punchy. It had more highs and lows, and definitely had a citrus note. The more I had it, the more I realized, yeah, this to me is more citrus-like. And like a sweet citrus, not like a grapefruit kind of like that kind of citrus. No, this was a sweeter citrus. It is like a sweet coffee, but it definitely has highs and lows. It has to me a citrus note, and it was unlike the other geishas where the other ones, although this one on the aroma, they had a little bit of that floral quality, but the floral quality on the other geishas that I had was way more apparent. One of them was like rose petals, the other one was like lavender, and those coffees were like a lot more tea-like and delicate in the flavor, not very peaky, not a lot of highs and lows. This one didn't follow suit with that. It is a little punchier for sure. So, and with the kind of citrus note, so which is kind of different. But yeah, as far as this coffee, I don't know. I would say again, like grapes, like sangria, like winey. It definitely has a bit much, like too much acidity for me and not enough sweetness. So I would not give it like a sugar note or honey or anything like that, because that kind of sweetness is just not in there. At best, I would give it like a berryness type of sweetness, like some kind of berries that are tart, but you still have the sweetness in the background, something like that. Am I getting peach? No. No. It's peaches don't have this level of acidity. I would not say peach. So it is what it is. I don't sugarcoat it for you guys. Okay, let's see what the bag says. Okay, peach sunrise. Peaches and more peaches. All they have is peaches. Like very upfront peach flavor. I don't know. I've never had peaches with this kind of level of acidity and tartness. It's just peaches. Okay, so you see, I totally failed. I pulled, 4 shots. You guys saw me struggle. Would I say that getting a hand grinder is not a good idea for espresso? No, I think if you're just new to the hobby, and because the hand grinder can, let's say you like really get into the hobby. So having a hand grinder is kind of like a must anyway. So at least one. So when you take trips, when you go camping or you go to a hotel or something, you might want to do some pour overs, or even for your daily pour overs. Let's say if there are times when you can't make noise in the house, all of those times a hand grinder, besides that they do a really good job. So just make sure that you get one that does both espresso and pour overs. I recommend one that has the adjustment at the top like mine, is the 1zpresso line. I think they all have that. I don't like those clicks on the bottom. So yeah, mine again is the 1zpresso K+. I love it. I highly recommend it. It's bulletproof. I've had it now for years. I make pour overs with it still all the time. Although now I have my flat burr grinder for pour overs, and it's mainly what I've been using. But the K+ is definitely, and when I travel, that's the only thing I would take, and it's perfect. So a hand grinder, I think, is a great way to start. If not, maybe nowadays there are some good inexpensive electric grinders, and maybe that's the way you should go with something that's not very expensive, electric grinder. If you have a problem grinding, perhaps you might want to do that. As far as espresso machine, you guys know I started with the infuser, and I don't regret it. I still have it, still works, and I still love it. So the infuser is a perfect way to start. I started with the infuser and the Breville Smart Grinder Pro, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with it. It's nice, it's fine, and it pairs really nicely. It makes a nice pair with the infuser and the Smart Grinder Pro. They look good together. So in that sense, there's nothing wrong with that. But definitely the K+ is a step up when it comes to build quality and workflow and some of the other things. Or even workflow, because at that point it's an electric grinder versus a hand grinder. If you really don't like hand grinding, then maybe not, but I kind of like it. So for me, it's a little bit of a step up. For you, it might be a step down. So wow, that's a tough choice. But the infuser and the Breville Smart Grinder Pro is a perfect way to start. Nothing wrong with that. The Niche Zero would be a step up from that. I think the Niche Zero is an awesome grinder. If I could get just one electric grinder, for me, that's it. There's no doubt about it. There's nothing else to consider. It's just a Niche Zero. I love it. For espresso and for pour overs. You guys have seen that I can't taste the difference between grinders. They all taste pretty much the same to me. If you dial it in the coffee the same way, you just use two different grinders, but your timing is the same, water's the same, everything's the same. To me, the coffee tastes pretty much the same. At best, there's a very tiny difference, and it's definitely not worth getting one grinder over another. It's just, don't make it about taste. Make it more about workflow, build quality, how you like it visually, and how fun it is to use and things like that. Not really because of the flavor. The flavor, they all taste pretty much the same. There are experts out there that that can definitely taste the difference between grinders. But for most of us, us regular folks, most of the time you're not gonna taste any difference at all. At least for me, I can't tell the difference. Anyway, this video is gonna get super long because I had to pull like 4 shots. So I'm gonna let you guys go here. But that's my thoughts. I'm definitely gonna call this video something about is getting a hand grinder for espresso a good idea or something like that. So thank you for watching. Leave me questions if you have any questions. Leave them below. I answer everyone. You guys can expect a new video from me every Sunday morning. And until then, cheers. Thank you for watching. Sad to see you go, buddy. Yeah, definitely berries, grapes, sangria, kind of winey. Little bit high acidity for me, almost there, but lacking on the sweetness. So that's what I got for you today. I'll report back as to what it did for me as for pour overs, and I'll let you know. I'm telling you, the geisha, you should try it. Although if you want a more traditional geisha, don't get that one, because it's gonna be more peaky. It's not gonna. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just not the same. It has the highs and lows are too much. It's not as delicate. It's not as tea-like, and it's not as floral as the other ones I've tried. So that's what I have for you today. Thank you for watching. Please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Cheers, and I'll see you guys next Sunday.